Focus is the most important characteristic of being a leader. So that you know what your vision is, that's your lane, and focus on that. And then ask for support. So and we had this tagline, St. Clair, I don't know if they still have it, our focus is you. Our focus is you. Our focus is you. So that, yeah, please.
Can we look at the card that we just sent out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can just, you guys, I brought props. Okay, and these are more books that really inform what I'm doing here. There's a guidebook that goes with all of that. Okay, she's got the guidebook. But when I talk about commitment, and in my TEDx talk, I talk about North Star. So my North Star, by the way, is you. My North Star is you. That's it. You know, what guides you. So when I teach in the nursing program, my beautiful thing about teaching in the nursing program is I'm basically, every time I teach, I'm teaching all your future patients. And then this is called the wisdom of passion and purpose and all of that coming together. So I'll pass these around too. Even has one of my old business cards in there. Somebody read this, just talking about innovation. So focus. And there's two types of time, and I'll get into this when we come to time management. There's chronological time, pausing for effect, and then there's something called chronos time. So chronological time is the clock, chronos is like present moment, and if you are focused when you study, you'll be able to study in 1/5 the time. If you're focused in a meeting, you'll remember everything. So focus. And there's this intersection between time and energy. In the middle is productivity, and it's all about focus. Focus. And yes, you want to see the book, because the book's going around, you can have a look and see what. And focus, where were we? What was your word?
So,
What word jumped off the, I'm thinking, I just thought, extraordinary. All these words are leadership words for excellence, or personality traits, I should say.
creativity.
Oh, creativity, yes. And why is, I have something that came to mind. Why is that a personality trait for leadership excellence?
I think being creative and so basically, personally being creative regarding the things that you do, like being able to make some changes, or either it can be a difference or whatever. You have to be creative, otherwise it's like people won't enjoy the things that you do for them, or you won't understand the feelings. Like being creative is important.
And see, the opposite of creative is just closed-minded, right? So creative, whatever the problem is, being open to the solution. So when we get to the last bit, which is about listening, that listening is really often one of the ways that we make sure that it's followed through is that they come up with the idea, not us. So we think as leaders, we have to have the answer. Really, this is a world where everything is just wide open. So that's where creativity comes in. So let's just work with this. Let's see what you got. So excellent. What we're jumping up for you?
I think it would be beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean to you? Does it make you feel boxed in, given how you started at this training, that being a student makes you feel boxed in? I love it, the beautiful. I have thoughts. What are your thoughts on that? Why does that make for an excellent leader?
It just makes you know you're responsible for something and you should.
Yes, and that you own that responsibility. So your responsibility, and think of it like pilots. When pilots get on a plane, they're not told there's 300 people on board, they're told there's 300 souls on board. So then we start to go up to the North Star part of leadership. So your duty is bigger than you. And that's where I find it to be a really big motivator, that I'm so small, but I'm like tied into all of this. Like just think about education. Just think about leadership. It's so much bigger than us. Duty. What was yours?
Punctual.
Punctual? And how are you with that? Because we know Ryan likes us. It's important though. And this is part of what we're talking about with leadership, is that you can't get to vision, you can't get to these other things until you have the basics. So punctual is actually what's called a tell. So if you play poker or you read people, that tells you something. So that's part of the sacrifice of being a leader. So that you have to take 3 buses earlier, you have to walk, or any of those things. I mean, that's part of it. So punctual. Punctual just basically means you mean business. So important. You don't want your surgeon to be late for surgery. I'll put it that way. Okay. You don't want your paycheck to be late, do you? Right? Okay, your turn.
Yeah, so it's elegant.
Oh, elegant.
Yeah.
Elegant. That feels like respect.
Yeah.
Yes, like Sandy's email that said look respectable.
Respectable.
Yeah, so what does elegance mean for you in terms of
Yeah,
leadership?
so like as we are directors, so we are probably role models for the students. So
Yeah.
wherever we go, we should
Yes,
be
I'm
good.
glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That is the role model. That's why the sacrifice of losing privacy is
Yeah,
worth it,
exactly.
because you're there to represent, right? You're there to represent.
Yeah, we be in good shape. and
Yes.
Look good.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, I love it. Okay, good. I like it. Okay, 2 more.
Extraordinary. 'Cause
You picked it. That was the one. I love it. That's not just ordinary. And with extraordinary becomes pressure though, right?
Yes.
So what does that mean for you in terms of leadership?
Because I believe to get to the pinnacle, you
Yeah.
gotta put in the extra work.
Yo! Yes! Right? You don't just get there. I often say one of the reasons people don't appreciate where they are is if they're just dropped off the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right? You don't enjoy the comfy couch in India, right? If you just drop, when I was young, my mom and dad would always say to me, that's not your house. That's not your stuff. You gotta get yours. And my parents would show me like nice places and introduce me. And it's like, no, you gotta get yours. So mine started with corn castle. I'm like, I work in the fields. Like we all have like things underneath of it, right? So yes, you gotta do the extra work to get to the extraordinary.
For example, it doesn't matter how tired I am, how tiring my day was.
Yeah.
I'll come off from work like 9 to 5. I'll come home, eat something, hit the gym, work out hard,
Yes.
so that I have a sense of accomplishment
Yes.
before going to bed.
Okay, you know what that's called? That's called the real dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Okay? Not this scrolling stuff that, you know, the overlords have on you.
Procrastination.
Yeah. Good for you. And you have a sense of satisfaction.
Yes.
And it's internal, right?
Yes.
So what I'm hearing too from everybody, there's so much pride in this position, right? It is a cloak. It's a cloak, I should say. What? No, Nora, what was it?
The word that stood out to me was kind.
Okay.
You gotta be kind to everyone because you never know what they're going through, and if you're screwed off the bat, like you never know what their internal thoughts are.
And as you say that, that's why, but we're not going to be, right? There are times that we don't feel kind. There are times that we're grumpy and we're tired and we have all the excuses. And that's why it's important to own it, okay? So, for example, thank you, I appreciate that. As I shared with all of you, I know that everybody knows, because I'm like a walking billboard, that I work with SRC and TSI and training young leaders, and I know that no matter who the young person is, that they're gonna see me a certain way. So I work at a F45, you've heard me talked about it before, but last week, I was not in a good mood. It was like the beginning of exams, and I swear to God, I'm more stressed than my students because I want them to do really well. And the young leader, so she's one of the trainers, they wanted to put me in a pod with someone. I did not want to go in a pod with someone. I wanted to go alone. And already earlier that day, I'd already sacrificed my own needs because I didn't speak up. So I was going to the gym. I was paying good money. I was gonna get my pod to myself. But this young leader, so she's a 22-year-old school graduate, said, you know what? That girl, it's really mean if you don't go in that pod with her. I'm like, oh my God, can't I just be selfish? Why can't I just be selfish? Okay? So I just listened to her, even though I didn't agree with her. But halfway through the workout, I knew that I had to do it for the pod, for the gym. But what was important was that after the workout, I went and talked with the trainer, and I apologized. Because I said, I want you to know that that was not my best self. And halfway through the workout, my best self came out. The dopamine hits, whatever. But I knew that I couldn't leave because it would be so, the word, inauthentic if I didn't own that. And the young leader said to me, she said, you know what? I've been around, I knew it wasn't about me. But she appreciated me saying that because to her, I represent all the snatch Pilates moms, right? So I can't always be like the sunshine person because that's not real. But when you're not, own it. Because it's really hurtful. And even in our own household, it's really important if someone's having a really bad day, blame the full moon. That's okay, right? But own it. Don't project it onto someone else. Because that can really actually have someone give up hope and just about anything. So you can undo all of the great with just one little act. And that's why this last, and I'm just going to go over here and pull back. I appreciate everything that everyone's saying, is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So that doesn't mean that you have to be this admirable leader all the time, because that's not real either. But what the word is that you wrote down, so the duty, the extraordinary, the innovation, the fun, all of those things, all of it has a limit. All of it has a limit. And part of emotional maturity, and I'm still like not fully mature, is knowing what your limits are and speaking to that, because that's what we want to know. It's really important that we want to know. So that's why I absolutely love this, right? So that, you know what? You know, and this is what I'll say with students too, that during exam week, it's really important that you let everybody in your life know that it's exam week. That's the week that you don't do the extra shifts. That's the week that you don't drive grandma to her appointments. You know, that's the week that you don't do any of those things because you have limited time and energy. And so I knew that about myself that day. So rather than give it the workout, I just own it. And what that did is my connection with that young leader who I've known for 4 years becomes closer because she sees my vulnerability and I own it, right? It's important, and like we have to depend on each other in all parts of it. And there's nothing wrong. Like we're all human, right? We're all human. I can tell it's 3:05, so I gotta keep things popping. Okay, you can see some yawns going on right here. So I want you to think about now the left and right parts of your brain in terms of, did everybody finish the left versus right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how many of you said that you are a left brain thinker? Okay, let's see. How many left brain thinkers? Okay, left brain thinkers. How many right brain thinkers? Yeah, I'm gonna put it up right there.
Okay, 5.
Yes. Is that like basically half and half? At home, everything's organized, okay? Who would consider themselves organized? Versus, I like the lived-in look. Okay, so my desk is usually clean and organized overall, okay? Versus, right, basically, I leave all everything else so other people can be inspired by it, okay? I like using the tried and, this is general, so I like the same repetition. I like repetition. I like creating new methods to put back, okay? I follow directions carefully when I build a model. I like to build a model my own way, okay? So let's go back to this. Let's go back to the left and right and why it's important and why this is relevant.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you go back to the?
Yeah. The questionnaire?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also did a post on this.
Wait, so
I'm gonna pull it up. I'll pull it back up. I have even more videos up here on that. This is another one. So, are you left or right brain dominant? And you guys have the link to my blog. And on here, if you want your friends to use it, it talks about the different parts of your brain and how it links to different stuff. Okay, so let me pull that PDF up for you. Okay, question about this.
Yeah, so the 3, for example. No, question 3.
Oh, three?
Yeah. yeah, so like, what if you don't really fit into like?
Okay, that's a great question, because essentially what this test is a dichotomy. So overall, you're gonna have more left than right. There's actually people that are equally left and right brain dominant. So for myself, I'm left and right brain dominant. Women tend to be more left and right brain dominant. There's something in between, it's called the corpus callosum. It actually splits your left and right sides of your brain. So the left side of your brain corresponds with the right side of your body, and vice versa. And so if you're equally both, that means that you can flip depending on the situation. So if you go here, even if you want to write this down, are you left or right brain dominant? And I can share it with you here too. People are, every single person, there's probably 100 comments on here where people are talking about whether or not they're left or they're right. And essentially that who was very, very, very much a left brain based on the results, okay? And who was very much a right brain based on the results? It was like both, right and left brain. So that means you can switch between the two. Now the left brain, once we understand someone's more left brain, I'm gonna talk about the results on here, then they are the people that are the finishers. They are the people that are the dutiful, that it's all about the structure more than the innovation. And this is why preparing for the training, I meet with Sandy and Ryan on a regular basis, because their job is to make sure the job gets done, right? So that's why the left side of the brain, which is the left side of the brain gets the job done. The right side of the brain is more, there's two different types of sort of logical, that they're open-minded, they're looking for solutions, that they are the starters, all of those things. But that's the right side of the brain. The left side of the brain gets it done. What I know for sure, and I write about it on my blog too, is that I'm all these things. We're all these things. Some of us go back and forth, but I know that in order for me to get to this side, I have to ground myself. So when I'm preparing a course, it's all about structure. It's all about organization. It's all about clarity. It's all about follow through. It's all about that. And this part is maybe 5 to 10%. Now the 5%, that's the right brain, the passion, the excitement, the innovation, the fresh ideas, the optimism, all that stuff. That's, think of the left brain like the cup of coffee, and the right brain like the sugar. You don't want tons and tons and tons and tons and tons, because nothing will ever get done, but it will just sort of, it will add to it. It's like the color versus the black and white. And understanding yourself as it relates to the way you interpret the world will help you understand why and when you don't get things done, and how you can be matched together. So what I'll be doing is taking the results that you've shared, and then I'll be working on some team mapping behind the scenes, so that we can understand why some of you get things done, why others don't. So it's just, remember, this is an entire course that I'm showing you in a few slides. But if you're both, but I would say I'm more left brain than right brain. So people don't see it. People see the side, the sort of the shiny side, the outgoing side, but underneath it's I am all business, all business. And that's one of the reasons I love working with SRC, because you're all business. Behind the scenes, it's all business. I work with a lot of people that want to hire me, because this is over and above, this is my private business, and they assume because I'm having fun, having a good time, that it's just like, oh, whatever. No, it's a business. So business first. That's why you, as a student first. That you have to be effective as a student, and how it all comes together. Now we're moving into the Myers-Briggs. And the idea that in this room too, we have different personalities, okay? So Myers-Briggs is, how many of you are familiar with the Myers-Briggs? So yes, okay, in your field. Anybody else? This is your first time? Let me get a sip of water before I go on here. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do, I'll pull up this. Okay? So I want you to put your profile up here. So for example, and then I'll pull it back. Here, you just did this assessment. This is really important. I gotta get your 4 letters for sure.